Federal grants and loans are suspended. I'm breaking down the recent federal funding freeze announced by the White House and what it means for you. Let's dive right in. Starting Tuesday, the White House will suspend federal grants and loans as part of a review of spending under President Donald Trump's administration. Officials say this pause ensures all funding aligns with Trump's executive orders. So, what does the funding freeze mean? Potentially it could impact trillions of dollars in funding. We're talking disruptions in healthcare research, education programs, and other government initiatives. Even grants that have already been approved but not yet distributed will be halted. Matthew Vaith, the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget, stated in a memo, and I quote, "Using federal resources for policies related to Marxist equity, transgender issues, and Green New Deal social engineering is a misuse of taxpayer dollars that doesn't benefit citizens' everyday lives. So, all spending must align with Trump's executive orders." Washington, D.C. is a central hub for the flow of funds to various federal departments, local governments, nonprofit organizations, and contractors. Naturally, many people who rely on this funding are uncertain about how they will be impacted. When does the freeze begin? The suspension starts at 4 p.m. CT, with federal agencies receiving notice just 1 day prior. Now, will Medicaid funding be affected? Unfortunately, yes. Medicaid, which provides health coverage to around 80 million low-income Americans, including millions of children, is not exempt from the freeze. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services allocates over $500 billion to states for Medicaid, and officials in states like Illinois are already reporting access issues. HHS hasn't clarified how this freeze will affect Medicaid payments moving forward. What will be unaffected by the freeze? Good news here. The White House confirmed that Social Security, Medicare, food assistance, and student loans will continue without interruption. The Department of Education confirmed that federal student loans and Pell Grants would not be paused, impacting millions of students. Medicare and Social Security benefits are also protected, but there's no clarity on programs like food stamps or disaster relief. The memo states the pause will be implemented as allowed by law. And what about the EPA? The Environmental Protection Agency is also affected. They're temporarily halting activities related to federal financial assistance, including grants and disbursements. The EPA manages billions in funding for programs linked to the Inflation Reduction Act and the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. They'll be working with the Office of Management and Budget to review their processes as required by the memo. So what's the next step? Legal challenges are expected. New York Attorney General Letitia James is already preparing to seek a court order to block the funding pause, claiming it's unconstitutional. Critics argue the move is unlawful, pointing out that Congress has already authorized the spending. Sharon Parrott, a former White House budget official and current president of the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, warned that the freeze could cause significant harm to vulnerable communities and essential programs. She criticized the administration, accusing it of attempting to bypass Congress despite its claims of adhering to the law. That's all for today. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like and subscribe. Stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.